Let's talk about the Heisman Trophy Watch Week 6. A little surprising. Shedeur Sanders has fallen off of the Heisman radar. And I'm surprised by this. And I don't know what you guys think. I think Shedeur absolutely is a top 5 Heisman Trophy candidate. I think there's a rubber stamp on Caleb Williams, and I am not that guy. I think if you are going to win back-to-back Heisman trophies, you have to be elite and just head and shoulders better than everybody else. And I'm not even prepared to say that Caleb Williams has been head and shoulders better than Shedeur Sanders. Certainly not Michael Penix Jr. I don't think he's been head and shoulders the best quarterback in the conference. I think Bo Nix has been absolutely the best quarterback in the conference. Yet, Caleb Williams is getting the rubber stamp as the Heisman Trophy contender out of the Pac-12. Jake, should Caleb Williams win the Heisman Trophy?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing with this is that Caleb Williams, obviously having won it last year, all he has to do this year is improve on those numbers last year and get into the college football playoff. If those two things happen, he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. And I disagree that maybe Bo Nix has played better, sure. But I don't think if you ask someone, hey, would you rather have Caleb Williams or Bo Nix, someone would pick Bo Nix. Because I think Caleb Williams is more talented, and he shows us that regularly. And I would be more in agreement about, Penix or Bo Nix or anybody in his conference, even Shedeur, and I'm a Colorado guy, even Shedeur. But I'm not in agreement on that because Caleb Williams has improved on the bar that was set last year. And so when I look at Caleb Williams, I say, okay, what's the story on Caleb Williams? Well, it plays at USC and Lincoln Riley's offense. So some of Caleb Williams' success is he plays for an offensive guru, and I love that. Okay, so the responsibility is on Caleb Williams to produce because he's got that built-in excuse. So if you don't produce, that's going to be held against you big time. But he continues to put up big numbers. So there's that. I also think USC not having a defense is a huge advantage for Caleb Williams. He's got the ball more. He's given more opportunities. So I think that's another recipe or another ingredient in the recipe as to why he would have a better shot because he has the opportunity to put up more numbers. Whereas I look at, again, like Bo Nix maybe doesn't get as many possessions or as many opportunities as Caleb would. And I just think I look up and down this list like, again, I agree. We talk about this almost every day on the show and off the show. Quinn Ewers is somebody that I look at who is building a pretty tough resume to beat at Texas. You've got quality win after quality win. If you go out and you go to the national championship game, like I don't know how you don't give it to him, but he's got to go and do that before I think you unseat Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that we're talking about the Heisman Trophy, but aren't we talking about who the best quarterback in the Pac-12 is? Because I think the only way that Quinn Ewers gets in is, one, he's got to beat Oklahoma this weekend, and it is a huge advantage in that game because he's got the national stage. He's got the Longhorns on his hat, and I think he has probably got the best or one of the best defenses in the country backing him up. And I think everybody's going to be watching Quinn Ewers take on OU. And that's exactly what it is because you're the quarterback. And I think it also needs to be said that Quinn Ewers is one of the reasons they're the best team in the country, in my opinion, right now. And if he beats Oklahoma, I think it's going to be very difficult if Quinn Ewers stays healthy to not give it to Quinn Ewers at Texas. Now, having said that, I think Shedeur Sanders absolutely belongs on this list. I think it is an incredible slap in the face that Shedeur Sanders on most ballots is not top 5. And I have no issue. I'm not saying that Caleb Williams is trash. I'm not saying that Michael Penix Jr. doesn't belong there. What I'm saying is there should not be a list if Shedeur Sanders isn't top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you look at the list, it's all quarterbacks. There is no question about that. I think Penix and Caleb Williams are going to get the majority of the votes in the conference. Quinn Ewers should be there. I think Bo Nix should be there. Jordan Travis and Jaden Daniels have no business being on this list. And right now, the composite Heisman has Jordan Travis at 5, Jaden Daniels 6, Sam Hartman 7, Dylan Gabriel 8, and Shedeur Sanders sucking his thumb in a corner because nobody respects Colorado. That probably came out wrong. But my point is, how on earth How on earth, with no offensive line and no defense, and the performance that Shedeur Sanders has put up, how is Kyle McCord higher on the composite Heisman list than Shedeur Sanders?
Well, I mean, it feels like we're doing exactly what we do with the college football playoff. We're saying, oh, undefeated, and you're the quarterback of the team? Yep, you're high on the list. I mean, it kind of feels that way. Like again,
I don't disagree.
Like, we've talked all about Jordan Travis, missing Johnny Wilson and Keon Coleman all the time. And if you watch those games, how do you look at that performance and be like, yeah, wow, this guy's a Heisman Trophy caliber quarterback? I don't look at it that way. I just don't. When I'm talking about the Heisman Trophy winner not only should put up big numbers, but he should do it in a fashion where he's dominating the game. And so that's why I say guys like Kyle McCord shouldn't be in this conversation, in my opinion. With all due respect.
But look at J.J. McCarthy at Michigan.
Yeah, another great combo.
J.J. McCarthy is far, far higher up the list than Shedeur Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stunned by it. And again, I'm a Notre Dame fan. I think Sam Hartman's top 10. He's not top 5. Stop. You lost to Ohio State. The only game of the year that mattered. And I'm talking about Heisman Trophy candidates today.
But you know why
Sam Hartman shouldn't be there.
You know why they put him there, though? And this, I think, speaks to the other examples we've listed here. You know, Jordan Travis, Kyle McCord, whoever. Dude, they put him there because what's the national narrative on Notre Dame? Oh, well, Sam Hartman's the general of that offense. He's the guy. And they've had a pretty successful run up until the Ohio State game. So that's what I mean. That's what happens with the folks who are voting. So whether we're talking about the college football playoff or we're talking about who should actually be in this conversation, that is precisely why Jordan Travis is in the conversation. Because, oh, it's Florida State, and they beat LSU, even though LSU is mediocre this year. They beat LSU, they beat Clemson, even though Clemson sucks this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why they're in the conversation. And so I look at Shedeur and I say, dude, like, just the same way that, you know, Caleb Williams, my point on Caleb Williams was, hey, you don't have a great defense. You're going to get the ball more. You're going to get more offensive possessions because your defense isn't good. They're going to allow people to go down the field. You're going to get the ball back. Shedeur also benefits from that in the same sense. At the same time, no offensive line, running for his life constantly. So if we're talking about who's the most talented, most capable quarterback, Shedeur has to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
Yet we don't because they're not respected, and that's what's frustrating about it.
Yeah. Casey Anthony says Jordan Travis has a noodle arm, and he's not been great. He's not been great, period. Daniel Dixon, big question. If Texas loses badly, do they stay in the top 10? Man, it's hard to think Texas is going to lose badly. They're road-tested. They're durable.
Got a dude at quarterback.
I mean, yeah, that's tough, man. I don't
they play with a lot of swagger, too, man. Like, they are confident.
Yeah. Beer cans and baddies. Heisman is stupid media darling QB award. Well, the Heisman Trophy is the best player in college football.
Yeah.
And overwhelmingly, that is a quarterback. And I think when you look at the way that, and again, this is a Shedeur Sanders argument. They don't win a game with anybody else at quarterback.
Yeah.
They just don't. And you look at the Colorado State win. You look at the way they scored against Oregon. I mean, you pick your game. He's the reason that Colorado's where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, he is that dude. And it's continued without Hunter. Like, it just is one of those things where I just don't think, it's a quarterback award. Bowers is the best player in America. Jake Bowers, doesn't he play for the Yankees? Well, their season's over. I'm assuming you're talking about Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is not close to the best player in America. That does not mean that he's not amazing, because he is.
You talk about best tight ends in the country?
Okay, well, that's a conversation. You want to talk about best receivers? You want to talk about toughest players? You want to talk about big moment players? Sure, we can put Brock in there.
Yes.
Brock Bowers is not going to be the reason that Georgia wins a game.
Now, he's on a list like 50 spots down on the Heisman. I think I'm trying to find him.
He's got votes.
Yeah, I mean, he has votes, but he is a long shot. Long shot.
They don't beat Auburn, in my opinion. They don't beat Auburn without Carson Beck making some really critical, good decisions, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, it is as simple as that. And I'm not trying to say that Brock Bowers is anything but amazing. But let's stop with the ridiculous over the top. Bowers is the best player in America.
Yeah.
Come on now. Let's say, and you're new here, I think. We're pretty much realists on this show. Brock Bowers is not the best player in America. Tarrant County boy, who gets the Dick Butt Kiss Award? You're going to have to tell me what that award is, because I'm not sure who Dick Butt Kiss is. I've never heard of him. George Kliavkoff for Heisman, and he should every single day. George Kliavkoff for Dick Butt Kiss Award.
Back to the envelope calculations.
Beer cans and baddies. Did anyone last week put their team on their back and win games like Brock Bowers last week? Nope. Okay, do you want us to go down the list? Or
Please.
Like, Guy, again, I get it.
He played well against Auburn. The one-handed catch in the fourth quarter was great.
Did you watch the Notre Dame game?
Yeah, come on, dude.
Did you see Sam
Come on,
Hartman?
man. Come on.
Did you happen to see the Audric Estime run that won the game? Did you see the 80, 90 unbelievable defensive plays Notre Dame made in the second half?
I mean, the problem is he's a tight end, not a quarterback. So you can make a case all day long without even having a second guess it that there are guys more deserving.
J.D. Bertrand last week for Notre Dame, I could argue. I mean, you want to talk about performances last week? Again, I will just point to Shedeur Sanders, who threw for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Dude, I can honestly, dude, if you want to have a fair fight on this, Keon Coleman is more deserving than Brock Bowers, dude. Yeah, like there are plenty of dudes.
Come on.
Dude, Marvin Harrison Jr.? I mean, come on. Like, I'm not disagreeing. Brock Bowers is a
stud,
damn good athlete and a prolific receiver in that Georgia offense.
Where would Missouri be without Brady Cook?
Yes, precisely. And that's the other thing with the Heisman. You look at a team on Missouri's level, and they're successful. He has a strong case to be, quote unquote, the most valuable player, the best player. Like, that's the problem with the Heisman. It is such an opinionated thing.
And what about Ray Davis? You want to talk about putting a team on your back? Ray Davis at Kentucky? They don't win that game without. Didn't he run for 300 yards?
Come on.
Like, I like Brock Bowers, and I'm sure he's team SRT and everything.
Yeah, dude.
But come on. Like, what are we even talking about? Kenneth Maynor, might sound ridiculous, but Ohio State better not look past Maryland Saturday. It's not ridiculous. It's not. We'll see. Beer cans and baddies. How did UGA win last week? You all sound like Beavis and Butthead right now.
Oh, please, dude. How did they win last week, dude? If you're going to sit here and try and make a case for...
No, wait. In all seriousness, you can't be serious about Brock Bowers. I'm not going to take you as serious. I'm not. I just don't. I just am not. There's no chance. 49er UCLA Wolverine. The Big Ten schedule is stacked next year with SC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington, unless you're Ohio State. Joining. I'm excited.
You should be.
Yeah. Did anybody see Michigan's schedule next year? Michigan's schedule next year? If you were curious, what percentage would you put on Jim Harbaugh coming back to Michigan next year?
It's a defense.
Fresno State, Texas, Arkansas State, Illinois, Maryland, Michigan State, Minnesota, UCLA. I would remind you their only road trip through week 9, I think it is Champaign, Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
So these are all home games. They don't go on the road for real until Ohio State in week 9. Let that sink in.
Look at him finishing the season with USC.
At Rutgers and at USC
Damn.
in Los Angeles to end the season.
You already know Caleb's coming back.
Oh, my God. Jim Harbaugh is going to the NFL.
Yeah.
USC next year, LSU, Utah State, Notre Dame on November 30th. That's in L.A. Maryland, Northwestern. Look at all these road games. Maryland, Northwestern, Penn State, Purdue, UCLA. Home games, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, and Wisconsin. The Big Ten is going to be a disaster next year.
Hey, it's about time.
A disaster next year.
It's about time.
That's going to be like, I mean, come on. Jim R. says Big Ten going to be nuts. It is.
Yeah.
LV Seminole, I think we have a dog fan in the chat that thinks this is the Feinbaum show.
Well.
Seriously.
Why we have Feinbaum.
Seriously. I mean, it's just so funny to me. But you look at some of these schedules, you guys.
Oh, it's a grinder. There is no doubt about that, dude.
Where is I haven't seen.
Dude.
Where's what?
We were just joking about Dick Butkus.
Yeah.
He died.
Shut up. Is that
I'm not
serious?
even kidding. Adam Schefter tweeted it. And Pete Thamel just
no.
retweeted it.
That's brutal.
He was 80.
Oh, no. Dick Butkus passed away. Oh, wow. Aren't you guys a bunch of jerks?
Peacefully in his sleep overnight.
Oh, no. That is a legend. And wow.
Damn, man.
That sucks. I've had some great interactions with Dick Butkus. With his son, it sucks. Dick was a good dude. Working in media and working in Chicago, just having, that's terrible. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's Doug Buffone, the late Chicago Bear linebacker, owned a steakhouse. And I produced a show called Jiggets and Buffone at the Score for a very short time. But one of the great things that I was invited to was Dick Butkus, Doug Buffone, Mike North, who was a Chicago media personality. It's a bunch of dudes having dinner. And just I've talked about how I've just been present for some great conversations. That was one of them. I've had the great honor of just talking to Dick Butkus on the sideline at a Bears game. He's such a good dude to talk football with. Such a good dude to talk football with.
Yeah.
That is a real bummer. That is a real bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. So Dick Butkus passes away at the age of 80. Boy, you wonder what impact that has on the Bears tonight. Because he is absolutely a
legend, dude. No doubt about it.
He is a behemoth in the history of the Chicago Bears. So I'm very curious what he will. Man, damn. You know, that era of linebacker, it took so much physical damage. And that era of football player. And, you know, having talked to Walter Payton about it, Gary Fensick, Jim McMahon's a guy that I've spoken to about this.
Yep.
They just gave so much of their life. Willie Gault, the Bears wide receiver, and I have talked about it. Richard Dent, the defensive end, and I mean, just they gave so much and got so little in return for it. Brandon Butler says, my heart is broken. Tarrant County boy says, dang, didn't know. Yeah, exactly. I will never make another Dick Butkus joke ever again today. Thank you. Alex says, I saw him play against the Rams when football was football. Seriously. Exactly right. Don't feel bad. When he was at the BYU game last week, he entered a cougar tail eating contest. It disappeared after the contest. I guess the cougar tail won. Okay. LV Seminole, rest in peace, Dick Butkus. Great example for all linebackers he was. Tarrant County boy, the Bears better whoop ass.
Seriously.
Whew. 49er says, rip. Yeah, that's tough. Butkus was was just an ass kicker, man. He was and he was on my favorite show, Emergency.
Was he really?
Yes, he made a cameo appearance on that show.
Okay.
Which you love. Yeah, Alex, today's players don't know the NFL's history. They don't. Joseph, what's up, Joseph Harper? Can Notre Dame at Louisville, a big trap game with USC next week? And Louisville's actually really good. Louisville's in first place in the ACC right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think it's a trap game at all because Louisville, their tape is phenomenal. They look really good on tape. Really, really good on tape. So I think it's tough to call that a trap game when they're just very good. They are very good. Yeah, now here comes all the notifications on Dick Butkus. What a bummer.
Yeah, man.
What a bummer.
Dude,
like, who was your hero when you were a kid? I mean, you were a huge Lincecum guy.
I was as a kid, living in Chicago, I loved watching Kerry Wood as a kid was my guy. Loved watching Kerry Wood pitch. Mark Pryor as a Cub, loved him. Sammy Sosa until the corked bat thing happened.
So it was all baseball for you.
Yeah, it was pretty much all baseball. I mean, obviously Devin Hester, I'll never forget Devin Hester performing against the Indianapolis Colts.
Greatest kick returner of all time.
Yeah, so that he was definitely one. And then Kobe, that was he was truly my Michael Jordan.
Yep, I totally agree. All right, Bucked Up, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. We've run right through it. 90 minutes later,
Boom.
Buckshot still having a great impact on the show, and I'm telling you, it gives you an advantage, you guys. It is truly one of those game-changing products, and I know we talk about that all the time, but I'm imploring you to go and get the 6-pack of free Buckshots in the description below on this show. Just click the link, fill out the form, they'll send it right to your front door, and it's a game changer for you. I'm telling you, Buckshot from Bucked Up Energy, 200 milligrams of caffeine that's naturally derived, and it makes your mind work better. That's the best way that I can describe it. You look at, this is the screen you'll see when you click the link, and you look at in the top right corner there, athletes, hard workers, and busy parents. That's exactly right. When your kids are running around the house making you crazy and you're trying to finish that report because you work from home, pop a Buckshot. It's going to help you be more focused. It's going to help you have more energy. And the biggest difference for me is there's no big rise and then fall. There's no big spike and then, you just plummet with energy. That doesn't happen with Buckshot like it does the other energy shots because all of the ingredients are the highest quality. It's clean, long-lasting energy that just does exactly what it says it's going to do. And that's why I'm telling you, in the description below, and we've been trying to get 500 of these samples put out to our viewers, and we're close, you guys. In the last 5 days, we've had over 300 people go and get free samples of Buckshot. Go get it if you don't have it. There's 221 people watching the show right now. If just half of you go and get the Buckshot samples, we'll hit our goal. Hook it up, buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show. And by the way, if you need things like pre-workout, if you're a whey protein isolate guy, their creatine, both their monohydrate and their 6-point creatine is the best creatine I've ever used. Go get it right now. Use the promo code Monty20 to get 20% off at checkout. Buckedup.com, the official energy provider of the Monty Show.